11 Jewish mindsets to help you build wealth early. Among the world's wealthiest entrepreneurs, nearly half are Jewish. Names like Rockefeller, the oil tycoon, Morgan, the finance giant, and Warren Buffett, the legendary investor, are all Jewish. Considered one of the most intelligent ethnic groups in the world, Jewish people have a crucial principle for making money: the power of intellectual thinking. They've distilled their money-making wisdom and recorded it in the ancient text Talmud, passing it down through generations. Below are 11 wealth-building mindsets that allow you to tap into Jewish wisdom and develop your ability to attract financial success. Once you master these principles, wealth will naturally come to you. 1. The seed mindset. The Talmud states, "You may lend wheat grains as seeds, but you must not eat the grains meant for planting." In other words, wheat intended for planting must be sown into the ground to multiply and yield a new harvest. But if you grind them into flour to eat, it's mere consumption, creating no value. This means that if you squander your capital, you'll remain poor forever. Only by learning how to make your money generate more money can you truly become wealthy. Rockefeller deeply believed in this principle. When he graduated high school, he borrowed $1,000 from his father to start a company with a friend, building his capital. In 1860, he saw potential in the oil industry, but oil prices were too high at the time. After researching the market, he patiently waited for the right moment. 3 years later, when crude oil prices dropped to 10 cents, he knew the opportunity had arrived. He sold his company, bought oil refining equipment, and quickly made a fortune. Once he became a millionaire, he didn't spend his profits on luxuries. Instead, he continued investing in new refining technology, expanding his operations, and dominating the U.S. oil industry. The seeds he planted over the years eventually brought a bountiful harvest. Warren Buffett also has two favorite sayings. Rule number 1, always protect your capital. Rule number 2, always remember rule number 1. For ordinary people, time and opportunities to make money are limited. Only by prioritizing the protection of your capital can you accumulate wealth, letting money generate more money and continuously create prosperity. There are no shortcuts to building wealth. When you can sustain the growth of your capital, you're definitely on the right path. 2. The smile mindset. Psychologists believe that how often teenagers smile can predict their earning potential as adults. Studies show that teenagers who smile frequently have incomes at age 29 that are 10% above average, while those who rarely smile earn 30% below average. This means that those with a positive mindset, who know how to smile, often earn more money. Jewish people consider this mindset foundational. As recorded in the Talmud, a smile brings endless wealth. Take the example of a master salesman. William Worth earned millions of dollars selling life insurance thanks to his smile. What made him successful was a smile his clients couldn't resist. However, this smile wasn't innate. It was the result of practice. He had been rejected by clients many times, but didn't give up. He went home and tirelessly practiced his smile to perfect it. He hung pictures of celebrities with radiant smiles around his house and placed a large mirror to adjust his expression anytime. Gradually, he mastered the essence of a smile, crafting what he called a $1 million smile. He said, "A smile isn't just an expression, it's a mindset habit." Those with a smile mindset can easily build relationships with clients and reap the rewards. Conrad Hilton once said, "A smile is the simplest, most cost-effective, and reliable service." More importantly, a smile is the lowest cost investment with the highest return. In this world, all business relationships are exchanges of value between people. Those with a smile mindset can amplify their advantage, winning favor from others. When you consistently offer others a smile, they'll be more willing to pay for the value you bring. Smile more and see your smile as a powerful tool for building wealth. When you do, the day you become wealthy won't be far off. 3. The leverage mindset. The Talmud records a story like this. A Jewish man walked into a bank in New York and told the loan manager, "I'd like to borrow money." The manager replied, "Of course. How much would you like to borrow?" "How about $1?" The manager was slightly surprised but said, "Certainly. As long as you have collateral, you can borrow more if you'd like." The Jewish man pulled a stack of stocks worth $500,000 from his bag and placed them on the table. "Is this enough collateral?" The manager immediately responded, "Absolutely. You'll just need to pay 6 cents in interest per year, and after repaying the principal, we'll return your stocks." The manager took the stocks and handed him $1. The Jewish man took the money, thanked him, and prepared to leave. As he was about to walk out, the branch director, who had observed the entire transaction, ran after him and asked, "Excuse me, I don't understand. You have $500,000, but you only borrowed $1? If you wanted to borrow more, we'd be happy to help." The Jewish man smiled and said, "Don't worry about me. Before coming here, I checked with several other banks, and their safe deposit box fees were quite expensive. So I decided to store my stocks at your bank. It only cost me 6 cents to secure $500,000. What a deal." Sometimes, the power of the leverage mindset lies in shifting from a rental mindset to a borrowing mindset. By doing so, the Jewish man ensured the safety of his capital. As Bill Gates once said, "Expand your thinking. Everything has the potential to make money." If your mindset is limited, you won't see other possibilities. A lack of flexibility only puts you at a disadvantage. In this world, opportunities to find treasure maps can be hidden anywhere. When one path is blocked, try changing your perspective. You might find the path to wealth in the moment your mind opens up. Before we dive deeper, don't forget to follow the channel for more insights about money and to help you achieve financial freedom quickly. Think Billion X channel welcomes you all. 4. The game mindset. Jewish people wrote in the Talmud, "Money isn't sacred, nor is it something lofty and unattainable." In their view, money is like clothing, just a useful tool. Many Jewish tycoons own fortunes worth millions of dollars, but they're never weighed down by the psychological burden of their wealth. They describe their state of mind like this: when you make money, you're entering a game world, and you're a player. You must constantly compete and challenge your opponents. If you surpass all the other players, the final victory will be yours. Financier Morgan agreed with this perspective. When discussing investments, he often said, "When playing cards, you should carefully observe each player. You'll notice who lacks wisdom. If you can't spot them, then the unwise player is you." Despite being a millionaire, Morgan loved the process of making money, but never lived for it. While others spent money on luxury cars and lavish mansions, he focused on studying the stock market's daily movements. A colleague once asked, "You have so much money. Why keep trying to earn more?" Morgan replied, "Money isn't important to me. The process of earning money and taking on new challenges is the real joy." Treating money as something ordinary and viewing the process of earning money as a game. This is the mastery of Jewish entrepreneurs. Never place too much importance on money. It's just something to play with. See the process of earning money as a game, and through it, you'll overcome challenges and solve immediate problems. When you immerse yourself in the process and forget about winning or losing, letting go of empty pursuits of fame, then by the time you finish the game, money will merely be a secondary reward for your victory. 5. The cotton mindset. If someone has no cash or savings, how can you extract money from them? The Talmud tells the story of the founder of Lehman Brothers, a securities firm that once generated millions in revenue. In a challenging year of 1844, A Jewish man named Henry Lehman immigrated to the U.S. and opened a general store with his two brothers. However, the farmers in the area had very low incomes, relying on the meager profits from growing cotton to survive, so their purchasing power was limited and the store's goods were hard to sell. Lehman thought carefully and turned his attention to the farmers' cotton harvest. He believed the essence of trade is mutual benefit, not just thinking about making money for himself, but also solving the farmers' problems. So, he encouraged farmers to trade their cotton for daily necessities. This allowed cashless customers to still shop, increased the store's sales, and made life easier for farmers, who no longer had to travel far to sell their cotton while still getting the goods they needed. Thanks to this approach, Lehman's business thrived, and soon, they became well-known merchants in the region. Jewish people have a saying, even if you cancel a contract, ensure both sides still benefit. If someone only seeks to profit at another's expense, they're likely to fail. If you only think of your own gain, luck will drift away from you. Sometimes, helping others gain an advantage is actually paving the way for yourself to make money. When you learn to work in a way that benefits both sides, making money becomes easier. 6. The water delivery mindset. A poor young Jewish man worked as a water seller for a long time, transporting water continuously from morning to night. One day, he noticed a child sticking paper onto a water barrel and suddenly realized something. He made a bold decision. Instead of selling water, he would give it away for free. This action might seem foolish, but it helped him earn tens of thousands of dollars within a year and build a large business. He only charged $1 for delivery without taking an extra cent. Through this simple method, he served dozens of customers, and the news spread quickly, attracting over 10,000 new customers. The key was this: he compiled customer data and approached businesses to negotiate partnerships. He declared that he had a large, loyal customer base and could advertise on his water barrels. Advertising on water barrels proved highly effective. Each barrel could display multiple ads, and the barrels were placed in visible locations to ensure high exposure. This attracted many businesses eager to collaborate. Once businesses saw the results, the young man proposed that for every customer brought in through the barrel ads, they'd pay a fee. The businesses, seeing the benefits and only paying after customers made purchases, happily agreed. As a result, the young man made a lot of money and quickly rose to success. This story holds a wealth of valuable wisdom. But in my view, the best way to turn things around is through the middleman mindset. The young man acted as a middleman, connecting the needs of both sides. Consumers needed free water, and businesses needed advertising. The water barrels he distributed became a tool to serve both demands. Being a middleman can significantly improve the efficiency of our lives. In reality, this example is common. A friend needs a girlfriend, another needs a boyfriend. If you connect them, you might get treated to a meal. If they hit it off, they'll be very grateful. In this case, your effort is minimal. You'll notice that the most profitable apps today are essentially middlemen. For example, a group buying app simply connects consumer needs with businesses, helping consumers easily find the stores they want and helping businesses gain more visibility. The app doesn't need to do much, but can still profit from both sides. Start developing your middleman mindset by trying to connect different needs. With minimal effort, you can generate impressive profits. 7. The 80-20 mindset. This mindset might seem complex at first, but it's essentially the 80-20 rule. In this world, 80% of the wealth is held by 20% of the people, while the remaining 20% of wealth belongs to the other 80%. Once you understand this, the efficiency of your wealth accumulation will increase significantly. For example, 2 salespeople graduated from the same university. 5 years later, one was still struggling in the lower class, while the other owned a house, a car, and had a stable income earning thousands of dollars. The first salesperson worked like this. He poured all his effort into serving every customer who walked into the store, treating everyone equally. On the surface, this approach seems fine. The second salesperson was different. He provided basic service to every customer who entered the store, but was very selective about where to invest his effort. Only when he encountered high-potential customers with strong purchasing power did he go all out. Many might find this approach too pragmatic and unappealing, but it's a perfect application of the 80-20 rule to maximize benefits. Spending too much time and effort on low-value customers can't yield significant profits. The second salesperson realized this. He focused his time and energy on the customers who held 80% of the wealth. By prioritizing them, he gained substantial benefits. In contrast, the first salesperson's overly fair approach led him to invest too much effort in the group holding just 20% of the wealth, the customers who couldn't bring in much profit. As a result, he earned very little. This mindset can be applied to improve all aspects of life. For example, in friendships, many people make friends randomly, wasting time and effort on those who don't bring value to their lives, causing them to become increasingly mediocre. But if you understand the 80-20 rule, you'll spend more time and effort on valuable people. Build friendships with them, and you'll continuously benefit from those relationships. At work, when faced with many tasks, some people tackle them without a clear method. But those who grasp this mindset will identify the most critical task, the one that impacts the overall outcome the most, and address it immediately. The 80-20 rule encourages us to focus all our resources on the most important things. Determining what's important in each situation is simple. What can most easily affect the entire outcome? That's the most critical thing. Your value determines your network, and this is incredibly important. Many don't understand the essence of relationship building, blindly chasing superficial connections, which waste time and effort and severely hinders personal growth. They think that by interacting with lots of people, they'll build a wide network, and those connections will bring life-changing opportunities. But the true essence of relationships is value. The more value you have, the more numerous and stronger your relationships will be. Human instinct is to pursue benefits. If you have nothing of value to offer, yet someone still wants to maintain a relationship with you, that goes against their natural instincts. Think about it from another angle. If someone brings no benefit to you, but constantly bothers you every day, would you want to be friends with them? Definitely not. But if someone understands you, knows when you're sad, and cares about what matters to you, you'd surely want to stay close to them, because they bring value to you both emotionally and materially. So if you want to build strong relationships to help you succeed, stop wasting time. Focus on increasing your own value and strive to bring benefits to others. When you do, your life will naturally become better without needing to try harder at other things. 8. The action mindset. Here's a parable. A poor man was crying in front of the Buddha, complaining, "Why can the rich live so comfortably while I always suffer?" The Buddha asked, "What would you consider fair?" The poor man replied, "Make a rich man as poor as me and have him do the same work as me." The Buddha agreed, turning a rich man into a poor one like him, and gave each a mountain of coal to mine and sell. The poor man, accustomed to manual labor, quickly mined a cart of coal and used the money to eat heartily. The rich man, unaccustomed to hard work, only managed to mine a cart by evening, bought a few pieces of bread to eat, and saved the rest of the money. Day after day, the poor man kept mining coal, while the rich man did the same. But gradually, the rich man used his savings to hire workers to mine for him. Over time, the poor man, despite working tirelessly, had only mined a fraction of the mountain, spending all his earnings on food without saving a dime. Meanwhile, the rich man had workers mine the entire mountain, then used the coal profits to invest in a business, soon returning to his wealthy status. After reading this story, ask yourself, are you the poor man or the rich man in this tale? In reality, what determines a person's wealth is their mindset. Economist Julius once said, "The poor are often poor because of a limited mindset." Your mindset shapes the life you live. 9. The cage mindset. In the early 20th century, a British merchant wanted to build a wildlife zoo on the African savanna to showcase ferocious animals. He needed to build large, sturdy cages. He consulted many experts who concluded that unless the cages were as vast as a forest, they couldn't replicate the natural, wild environment of the animals. However, building such large cages would exceed his budget. At that moment, a janitor blurted out, "Why do we have to lock the animals in cages?" The merchant laughed, thinking the janitor was being absurd, and continued investing in building cages. But another young entrepreneur listened to the idea. He designed a special viewing cage, one that let the animals roam free while enclosing people inside. Thanks to this cage, he built the world's largest private zoo and reaped enormous profits. That man was the legendary British businessman Carl Hagenbeck. Meanwhile, the first merchant, trapped in a rigid cage mindset, invested heavily but saw no results, and was eventually bought out by Carl Hagenbeck, losing his entire enterprise. Philosopher Schopenhauer once said, "The greatest prison in the world is the human mind's consciousness." Often, what limits a person isn't their environment or abilities. It's a conservative mindset. When you hit a dead end, remind yourself, if the mountain has no path through, I'll find a way to cross it. If this road is blocked, I'll take another. Break free from fixed frameworks and view life from a different angle, and your life will no longer have limits. 10. The sunny day mindset. People often say, on a sunny day, prepare an umbrella so you won't get wet on a rainy day. But in the eyes of the poor, they only see the sunny day in front of them, not the rain of the future. 20 years ago, an outstanding student who graduated from a prestigious university started working as a technician in a steel factory. He had a strong education and was very diligent. He was quickly promoted to a managerial role with a higher salary. However, he noticed that the factory's profits were declining sharply, and traditional industries were shrinking. The internet era was approaching. After careful consideration, he decided to leave his stable job to venture into e-commerce. Many couldn't understand his decision and advised him to keep his stable job, not to chase unrealistic dreams. But he saw that stability was only on the surface. Beneath, there were constant changes. So, he resolved to leave. 10 years later, his e-commerce company was generating millions of dollars in annual profit. Meanwhile, those who clung to their stable jobs were either unemployed or stuck with no growth. Many who've never faced hardship often assume life will always be smooth. But in this era of constant change, you can't predict where risks will emerge. Even skilled cashiers can be replaced by automated checkout machines. The sunny day mindset blinds you to hidden risks, even as a storm approaches. Don't wait until a giant wave appears before you realize there's no turning back. Always stay vigilant, keep growing, advancing, and embracing every possibility. Only then can you maintain your position in a world of constant change. 11. The elevator mindset. Imagine this scene. An empty staircase with just one person walking, while an elevator is packed with people. It seems the more crowded a path, the more we want to follow it. Do you see people like this? They hear the stock market is profitable, so they jump into investing. They see short videos trending, so they want to become a streamer. They see everyone applying for government jobs, so they sign up for prep classes. The result, they lose everything in the stock market, their live streams get no views, and they fail the government exam. In life, many people get trapped in the elevator mindset, falling into the mold of following the crowd. Taking the same path as others only leaves you with no path of your own. Warren Buffett once told a story about a small town. One person opened a gas station and did great business. A second person arrived and opened another gas station. Then a third, a fourth, and so on, until the town was full of gas stations and business became unprofitable. Those who came later all lost money. Author Robert Kiyosaki wrote in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, "In the process of building wealth, the hardest thing is sticking to your own choices without blindly following the crowd. Those who stand out are often those who can think independently. They don't follow trends, aren't swayed by emotions, distinguish right from wrong, and always think carefully before acting. That's how they take control of their lives." Sometimes, looking up to see the path ahead is more important than keeping your head down and working tirelessly. Find the right direction, stay committed, and dig deep. You'll stand out through. Due to time constraints, I'll end the video here. I share free knowledge on how to become wealthy, an entrepreneur, an investor, and achieve financial freedom. If you don't want to miss out, please follow my channel, turn on notifications, and share this video freely. I sincerely wish everyone who liked this video achieves financial freedom soon. As long as you find one or two helpful quotes in this video that improve your life, I'm already fulfilled.